Hey, Chief, I wanted to bring up the subject of reinitiation.
Okay.
In Miami, what started the accord, the root of it, supposedly, was that there was two individuals. One, a Lukumi priestess who was initiated to a Batala, had over 20 years of a Batala crown, or idosu on her head. Another individual was a Lukumi Ifa priest who was also initiated to Shango idosu in the Lukumi system.
Yes.
These two individuals decided to reshave their heads and to put another Orisha on their head. For example, the Batala priestess reshaved her head and they put Yemoja on her head in accordance with the Yoruba rites. The Lukumi Ifa priest reshaped his head and he put Shango on his head in accordance with Lukumi rites. Certain elements within the Lukumi community had protested saying that reinitiation is forbidden, it is an abomination, that once you shave your head and put one Orisha in your head, it can never be done again. My question to you is, Chief, within Ifa, is reinitiation an abomination? Is it prohibited? What does Ifa have to say on this particular subject?
That's laughable anyway. First of all, let me, like we all know, that Ifa is the bedrock of everything that we do. Ifa is through Ifa that you can get to know all the other Orisha. There is no Orisha in this world that can survive all by himself. Ifa attest, under one verse of I think the one where Orunmila, took all the other deities, Idinrete to Shubo. There, all the other deities affirmed, that it is Ifa that will be their head, that will be their superior. From Ifa, you can get to any other Orisha. Now, the issue of initiation or re-initiation or putting, another Orisha on the head after, one has been put there, I mean, there is no need for any argument, because there could be the need for somebody who had Obatala before and now decides to, have an interest in Shango. I mean, if it is desire, there is no rule that says that he cannot get himself into this Shango priesthood. In Ifa, there are so many, examples that we can cite. Particularly, there is one under Obayate, where Ifa, talks about re-initiation, even in the cult of Ifa himself.
Can you please chant the verse, Baba?
Yes. Actually, there is an alias that is given to Obayate, which is called Ogbe Totonwate. That is Ogbe that is allowed to do re-initiation. That verse, it says, Atelewo nlofode sokan atampako nlo yara ti e loto adifa fun kabuwa o ma desa loju omi. The kabuwa that Ifa is referring to here is an entity that Ifa clarifies another name, to be Ogbe. Now, this kabuwa, according to this, the story behind the Ifa verse was made to. I mean, we were made to understand that he had Ogbeate as his Ifa initially. Now, after he was initiated, years after, things have not changed for him, despite the fact that he has been offering all the sacrifices, he did all the akoshi, he did all the rites, he did everything according to how it's supposed to be. But things did not improve for him. So he decided to, do away with Ifa. He went to the river to throw away his ikin in protest that Ifa has not been, good to him, because it is written that anybody who become initiated to Ifa, after some time, he should start to notice some good changes in his life, not going from bad to worse again. So when this man threw away his Ifa, he went back into, the society, and he was still living in his old former sense. But to his surprise, the pedestal, the lifestyle that he was living before he threw away his ikin, as compared to after he threw away his ikin, became worst. It was even better while he had the ikin, but when he had no the ikin again, the situation deteriorated so fast that he now knew that there must be something that is wrong. That possibly that ikin that he threw away could explain something. He decided to visit the Babalawo. The Babalawo cast the ikin for him again, and he was asked to offer sacrifice, and that you should offer sacrifice to Ifa. They now asked him, "What about your Ifa?" He said, "I've thrown it away." He said, okay, if you've thrown it away, then you have to offer sacrifice to the Ifa of the Babalawo who did the casting for you. He agreed to do that sacrifice. And what was the object of sacrifice? He has to offer a big fish. Don't let us forget, the introduction of this verse says, Oma de Isa loju omi. Isa is one of the instruments that fishermen that they use, in fishing.
A fish net.
It's a kind of fish net, but it's a kind of it's separate. Now, this guy had been a fisherman, so he went to take his instrument to get the fish, because he had no money to get the fish which Babalawo commander asked him to offer. He caught a big fish, honestly, and took it to Babalawo for him to dissect and offer a sacrifice to Ifa for things to become easier for him. But it is to the greatest surprise of everybody that when the Babalawo caught the fish to put the blood on his Ifa, they found some ikin inside the fish. Bizarre. It was Kabua that recognized some of the ikin that, Baba, this is my ikin. This is no coincidence. So the Babalawo said, look, if this is your ikin, then Ifa is telling you something here. It was there, they washed the ikin, told him that if your Odu before now is Oriate, then Ifa is telling you that is bringing you back this ikin to become reinitiated again into Ifa. So the ikin was washed, he was reinitiated, and he was given another Odu, entirely different from the Oriate that gave birth to him. So that verse affirms that one may become reinitiated in Ifa. Apart from the Oriate, we can see the story of Ibadan. Ibadan at the foundation had Ireteka. It's no news today that Osemeji is called Olubadan, because now today Osemeji has taken over. Ibadan, if we can use the term initiation for cities that are founded, because when one is reborn, he has a new Odu. When Ibadan was reborn, the first Odu that came out for Ibadan was Ireteka. But after Ireteka, people realized some, things under Ateka, and they went back for, reinitiation again. Let me use that word in the context of being rebirthed in the city. Today, Osemeji is the one that has given birth to Ibadan, and that is the name by which Ibadan is named up till today. So the issue of being born by one Ifa under especially Umda Oriate, like my Oluwo, may his soul rest in perfect peace, taught me that it is possible for one to get reinitiated if, under Oriate, one does not have what it takes to become a Babalawo. And also, if one has an Orisha and you want to have another one, yes, it is allowed for one to have, the other Orisha, and then, in your own household, in our own household, my Oluwo's house, my Oluwo has Ifa, he has Oshun, he has Obatala, he has Shekwana, Olode, he has Ogun, and all this, he was initiated into it. So that is my Oluwo who lived almost 85 years before he died, and by far one of the most knowledgeable Ifa priests that we have around before he passed on.
Now, the verse you just shared of Oba Oriate, that was shared to you by your Oluwo before he passed?
Yes.
Let's see. And what was your Oluwo's name?
My Oluwo is Baba Babalola Ifatogun.
And can you please tell everyone a little bit about his background? How many years of Ifa did he have?
My Oluwo lived, he died at the ripe age of 83 years. He died in 2009. My Oluwo started his early Ifa training as a child. Of course, he was born into the family of Ifa. His father also was, an Oluwo in Ilobu. His father's father also an Oluwo. His mother, according to the history which he told me, came from also a family of Ifa. So it's Ifa on the right hand side, Ifa on the left hand side. There are so many, stories that surrounds my Oluwo that people in the larger world know. I got to know him, excuse me, through Professor Wande Abimbola and my brother, Kolakpo Abimbola.